Good evening, Bershus, and with the permission of friends old and new, we're continuing with our Seder learning Mishnah's Pirkei Avot, and we're almost finished with the third parak, and I want to thank everybody for sticking with me and learning with me. It is greatly appreciated. We were discussing the last time we were learning, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was talking about it. Im ein Torah ein derech eretz, v'im ein derech eretz ein Torah. We're continuing with this 22nd Mishnah according to some, the 18th Mishnah according to others, the 17th Mishnah according to others. It depends whether you group Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's Mishnahs together or not. In any event, tonight, Hu haya omer, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, he used to say, Kol shechakmotho mrube mema'asiv, anybody whose wisdom exceeds his deeds, lema'ahu doime, to what is he compared? Lailin שענפיו מרבים ושורשיו מעטים. To a tree whose leaves are plentiful and his roots are not. V'haruach bo v'okarto v'ofachto al panav. And the winds come and uproots the tree and turns it over on his face. Shenemar v'hoya ke'ar'ar bo'arava v'lo yir'eh ki avot tov v'shachan chareirim b'midbar eretz melecha v'lo seishev. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah continues, and he says as follows: but anybody whose deeds, remember deeds, who's greater than his learning and his wisdom, to what is he compared? To a tree whose leaves are few, but his roots are deep, strong, and plentiful. That even if all the winds of the world come and blow on it, does not uproot it from its place, does not move the tree. And as if the tree is like on the brook of a river. In this Mishnah, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah compares man to a tree. The implication, according to the Medrash Shmuel, is that the source of a tree's strength is hidden. It is under the ground. So too is man's spiritual strength. His neshama is not overtly visible. Where does it come from? It comes from Shemayim. So let's look at the terminology that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah employs in this Mishnah. Kol shechakmotho mrube mema'asiv. Anybody whose wisdom exceeds his deeds, he's compared to a tree that if the wind comes and blows, it uproots the tree. According to many, the Ramban, Rabbi Yonah bar Tanura, Yavitz, Yamtiv, all of the great ושורשיו on this Mishnah, and all of the Mishnahs in Pirkei Avot for that matter, there's nothing new here. Nothing new is related in this particular Mishnah. We already learned earlier in this parak, according to Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa, Kol shema'asav merubah mechachmotho, anybody whose deeds exceeds his wisdom, chachmotho miskayemes, his wisdom will be established. V'chol shechachmotho merubah mema'asiv, and anybody whose wisdom exceeds his deeds, ein chachmotho miskayem. So what is it that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah comes to add in this Mishnah? Remember what I just said. The Rambam, the Yavitz, Yamtiv, bar Tanura, and others on my tape. There's nothing new. We already discussed it by Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa earlier in the third parak. So what is Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah coming to add? So I'd like to suggest the following. There in Mishnah Yud Beis Eitzel by Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa, I previously compared the statement of Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa of Kol shema'asav merubah mechachmotho miskayemes, that anybody whose deeds exceeds his wisdom is established, to a maxim that I quoted then in that Mishnah earlier in our shiur of Pirkei Avot, to a dictum that is mentioned in Avos de Rabbi Nosson, that it's attributed to Elisha ben Avuya. And what did Elisha ben Avuya say then, even though I omitted his name then? But not this time. And I did it for a specific reason. What did Elisha ben Avuya say? Elisha ben Avuya said, Adam sheyesh bo ma'asim tovim, a man who has good deeds, v'limet Torah harbe, and he learned a lot of Torah. Lemahu doma, to what is he compared? La Adam shebona avenim milmata, a person who built stones underneath. And then he built the bricks of the house. Even though all the waters of the world come, does not erase the house, it does not destroy the house from its place. Perhaps I'd like to suggest Pirkei Avot comes to deliver the parable and comparison of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, of man and his actions to a tree, to distinguish between the teaching of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and that of Elisha ben Avuya, otherwise known as Acher. You see, Pirkei Avot is opposed to Avos that Rabbi Nosson is of great fame and renown, whereas Avos that Rabbi Nosson is little known outside of the very learned. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was the leader of Klal Yisrael, and Elisha ben Avuya was an apostate. One a hero, the other a villain. Elazar ben Azariah's words are remembered, while Acher, who we know is Elisha ben Avuya, we called him Acher. The other, we forget his name, are relegated to the forgotten dusty tomes of ancient laws that are only studied in the ivory tower. Maybe that's the reason why Pirkei Avot is what everybody learns, not Avos that Rabbi Nosson. Perhaps too we can say, after that when there is nothing new to add here, like all of those mefarshim I quoted, then what we already learned by Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa, we can say that just as a tree's vitality and strength is hidden and submerged, so too is the meaning of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's words. One must look beyond, one must look deeper than the surface. Chazal teaches a very interesting phrase, which we learned originally in our Shiurim of Avos. Lo ha-medrash ha-ikar, not learning is the ikar, ela ha-maisa, but rather actions and deed. And this Chazal tell us in the Gemara in Shabbos, Kach ikdimu nasa lenishma. Why is it that they said nasa and then nishma? We'll do and then we'll learn. So I'd like to suggest and posit the following pshat. Lefi ani asdaiti, according to my humble opinion, in Parshas Shlach, when the Meraglim are sent out and they come and they give a derogatory picture of what is Eretz Yisrael to be for the Jewish people, their report is negative. What was their goal according to the Lubavitcher Rebbe? So the Lubavitcher Rebbe suggests, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson Zatzal, that the Meraglim were all very learned men. And what they wanted to do is remain in the bubble of Torah in the Beis Medrash, within the mikveh of their learning continuously and constantly, where everything was given to them on the silver platter, where they had the Adonai HaKavod, where they had the Be'er Miriam, and everything was taken care of for them so that they could zitz and learn kol yomim v'layla, all the days and nights. But to toil and to till the land and to perform the actions of all the mitzvahs associated with Eretz Yisrael, this would detract from their learning. So therefore they felt that their higher goal, their higher aspiration was to learn Torah. So their kavanos were good according to the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe is dan them the kavschus. But in the end we know, oh no, didn't work out so well for the Meraglim. But what was Moshe's diktat, his dictate, his command to the Meraglim before he sent them out? So if you look in the Lashon, I'd like to suggest of the Chumash in Parshas Shlach, it says the following: Ur isem es haaretz mahi, and you will go to scout out the land and see and determine what is the land, what it's about, and the nation that dwells upon it, hachazeku harafeh, if it's strong or if it's weak, hamatu imrav, if it's small or big, meaning if it's great in numbers or less in numbers, And then he says, Hayesh bo eitz, and if there's a tree there. What does this come to teach us? So notice the terminology of what Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says in our Mishnah. Kol shechachmotso meruba mema'asav lema'am doime la'ilan she'anafov merubin ושורשיו מעטים. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah in our Mishnah could have used the following words to tell us this dictum. שחכמתו גדולה ממעשיו, או שענפיו חוסר, קטנה, פחוס, or פחוסה ממעשיו. But that's not the words that he used. Rather, he uses rabin and מעטים, and he uses eitz. So I'd like to suggest that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah is echoing the command of Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe Rabbeinu says, מעטים Rav, Merubin, Ma'at, Ma'utin, Hayim Yesh Ba Eitz, and if there's a tree, he's referring to the Ilan, a tree of an Eitz. Rashi says in Parsha Shlach that what is an Eitz that Moshe Rabbeinu was referring to, Adam Kosher Sheyagin Aleihem Bischuso, a kosher individual that through his actions would protect the inhabitants, and through his merits. The Gemara in Baba Basra and Tezvav says, who are we talking about could be such an individual? So the Gemara tells us in Baba Basra that the eitz that Moshe Rabbeinu is referring to is none other than Eov, who is otherwise known as Utz, who had lived since the times of Avram Avinu. And just as a tree is long-lived, so too is Utz, aka also known as Eov. But Rabboisai, Eitz, Eitzah, also means advice. Is there somebody in Eretz Yisrael, in the land that we're about to enter and conquer, who gives good advice, who's imbued with Eitz Hadas, the tree of knowledge, and is that knowledge Litov or Lera? Eov gave advice to Paro. Medrash tells us. What did he say? When Bilam came along and said, every single male child, you should throw him into the river in order to destroy the future prophet of Klal Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu. What was Eov's reaction? He remained silent. He didn't say a word. Shtika kahodah dome. A person who remains silent in the face of evil in that nature, it's as if he committed the same sin. That act of omission inculpated him instead of exculpated him. Thus says Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Kol shechachmotso meruba mema'asav, anybody whose wisdom exceeds his deeds, lema'am doime, to what is he compared? La'ilan, to a tree she'anfiv merubin, that his leaves are great, ושורשיו מעטים, and his roots are weak. V'haruach ba, and comes the wind, v'okarta, v'afachto al panav, and uproots it and throws it and lets it fall on its face. And Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah continues, but anybody whose deeds exceeds their wisdom, lemahu doime, to what is he compared? La'ilan she'anfiv me'utim, to a tree whose leaves are few, ושורשיו מרובים, but its roots are strong, its roots are great. Sha'afilu kol haruchos sheba'olam bos, that even though all the winds in the world come, ein mezizin oisam imkoimoi, can't move it from its place. The Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh explains the following. The Inquisition, that storm which blew upon the household of Spanish Jewry, those who remained standing after the hurricane were those men and women of everyday mitzvahs who believed the Amunah Shalema with good and complete faith in the truth of God and Torah. They remained steadfast and in their observance. However, those who pursue Torah as a mere intellectual endeavor and experience and exercise, they failed. They were blown away by the inquisitorial storm winds. Thus comes that inestimable artist, an explainer, an exegete of Pirkei Avot, Irvin Bunim, in his famous work, Ethics of Our Fathers. He says the following: a fire without wind will probably remain in place and burn out. A wind will fan the flames and spread fire. Dust without wind will lie dormant, but a wind will generate a frenzy. The ocean is calm until wind generates waves. So too with people. Many have latent and dormant fears and tendencies. Without the winds of stress and danger, these impulses remain harmless. But not so in times of danger and pressure. These are times when personalities are tested. In the words of Thomas Paine, I'd like to add to Irving Bunim, these are the times that try men's souls. These are moments when core values have to overcome the pressures and the vicissitudes of winds of change. Hopefully our roots, our shorashiv, our values are deep and strong. The loyal Jew is not one who knows Judaism and Yiddishkeit, but it's one who lives Yiddishkeit through his ma'aseh. Eitz chayim hi lamachazikim bo. Chazak, chazak. Good night, my friends.